In this video, I'm going to review 3 products from Ortlieb: the Dry-Pack, the Quick Rack L, and the Axle, the Thru Axle. This is the first time I've used this setup. So every time I do bike packing trips, I will mix up my setup a little bit because I'm still fairly new to it and I'm trying to just get it dialed in. So I used to use the seat pack, and I like that because you can get a lot of stuff in it, but it did sit up higher and it kind of wagged around a little bit if you got out of the saddle like on a hill. Whereas this is really planted. It straps right on the rack, and I'll show that. And then of course you've got some cords at the top you can strap stuff on. This is the 16-liter version. You can get this in also a 12-liter. I would recommend the 16. You can just put a lot more stuff in it, but it's up to you. But I really like this option because the center of gravity is lower compared to the seat pack, and I'm also using the gravel packs. I won't talk much about those in this video, but it pairs well. Now I will say, if you use the gravel packs, I found it a little bit easier to put the gravel packs on first and then this, because it has a strap or 2 straps that strap onto the rack, and that way, you know, you're not having to use like your own bungee cord, you know, straps or whatever. It comes with it, so it's great. And it's got the a roll on both ends. I'm going to get off the bike and show it to you. Before I do, I'm going to show you how this thing straps onto the bike, and I'm also going to show the rack. I'll get everything off the bike here, and I'll talk about the Quick Rack L, and I'll explain the difference between the Quick Rack L and the it's hard to say, Quick Rack XL. So let's take a look at this one. Like I said, you've got 2 straps and you've got multiple options here. This is the setup. I looked on their website, and this is kind of how they had it set up, and I like it. It works well with this rack. And so the buckles here, on one side you've got buckles that kind of feed back up into it, so it's a little bit more secure. So you would leave the straps into those buckles, and then the ones on the other side are a bit quicker, and you can see that down in there. These buckles, they don't loop back through the buckle itself, so it's just quicker. So of course you would, you know, put these on first and then these, and it holds really secure. Like, this bike was so steady on my ride today. A lot of gravel, some sand, and it just did really well. And I strap my shoes here on the top. You know, if I hammock camp, I might strap my tarp up there. I like keeping the tarp really accessible in case I get to a campsite in the rain. I put the tarp up first and then just move under it, and I'm a happy camper. And then it's got this little purge valve here. So what you do is you pull this up and it'll let the air out. You can do that with holding the camera. And then you can push it down, it'll burp all the air out, and then once the air is out, you just push it back down. So really nice setup. I'm gonna pull this thing off the bike and show it to you. So these are the clips that are not quite as quick because it loops back through. So what you would do is just leave these other clips on the rack, and then you can just hook these onto the rack. So it's made, this thing's just made to go into the rack. So they pair really well together. And so, like I said, this is the 16-liter version. You got roll ends on both sides. Gravel roads are really, really dusty right now, like super dry. Low humidity right now. So these are the roll ends. So in this, I have my tent, and I've got my clothes, and I think that's it. So that's the bag. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull these fork packs off, and I'm gonna show you this Quick Rack L. So the Quick Rack L is taller than the regular Quick Rack. So if you're going to be mounting on this axle, I really like this axle. You get one axle, and then it comes with spacers. And so like if you have a mountain bike with Boost 148, then you don't use any spacers. And this one, I think I used one spacer, and then, you know, you just want to make it sure it's centered. And then it's nice because then you thread these bolts, and these are the little pegs that hold the rack. So if you're not familiar with the Quick Rack, all you have to do to get this thing off the bike is just undo this lever and then undo this quick release at the top, and it comes off the bike in like 5 seconds. So the L is taller than the regular one, so you can, you know, mount it all the way down onto the axle. And the XL version, by the way, is taller than this one because that's what you would put on a mountain bike. So this one is not really designed for a 29er mountain bike. You can use it on a 26er, obviously, but a 29er, you should go for the XL. And since I also have a hardtail for bike packing, I'll probably be picking up that one as well. But like I said, the fork packs, the This bag fits really well on it. The through axle is a really nice option, and I like how all the weight of the rack is on the axle versus my frame bosses. It's probably not a big deal. Like, I'm sure the frame bosses could hold it just fine. This is a really nice frame, but I don't know. Personally, I just like all that weight going onto the axle. But the nice thing is, like, if you have a bike that doesn't have frame bosses, no big deal. You don't need them for this rack. Just put in this through axle. It's a 12 millimeter through axle, so M12, and it just goes through, and then you clamp it onto the seat post, like, really quickly. I wanted to insert this scene back at home to talk about this axle, to explain a little bit more how it works. So they only make one axle width, and it comes with various spacers. And what you do is you just choose your thread pitch. So this is a 1.75. You can get a 1 millimeter, a 1.5 millimeter, and a 1.75 millimeter thread pitch. Fortunately, this one fits on both of my bikes that I use for bikepacking. I've got a 9er hardtail, a 9er Sur 9, and then a 9er RLT9 gravel bike, the one that you saw in the video. And this through axle fits. So as long as your bike takes an M12 through axle, you can get it to work. So like on my hardtail, I don't have any spacers. You just want to make sure the axle is centered, and it's okay to have some threads sticking out. So if you've got a more narrow dropout and you've got spacers over here, you can have some threads sticking out. You just want to center that axle. And so it comes with these bolts. So this bolt that goes in the side where you put the Allen wrench in to thread it into your bike is going to be longer. So the threads don't start until down here, because you've got to be able to insert an Allen wrench to thread it into the bike. Whereas the other side, the threads start immediately, and the little plastic pegs come with the rack. So you would just choose the plastic pegs that work with your rack, and then you just put them on here. So, the bolt goes through the peg, which goes onto the axle. So it's a great design. Like I said, just one axle. Some other designs, in fact, one that I'm going to be testing fairly soon, another brand, you choose your axle width based on your bike, whereas this one, it's one width. You just choose your thread pitch. So yeah, just want to throw this in here so you understand how this axle works. So yeah, that's my review of this Dry-Pack 16-liter version, and then the rack and the axle. So if you have questions or comments about the bag, the rack, or the axle, let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're into mountain biking and gravel riding, to include bikepacking, go ahead and do that. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.